Recording. Down.
It's definitely a
It's a
chicken.
kid.
That's a child.
Big.
Totally.
There was a waiter dog walking out there.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the waiter dogs. But they're funny.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is it. Dude, why are you nervous?
Who's nervous?
Who is nervous? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anybody nervous? You're nervous? For what?
Oh, yeah,
What do you- Okay, so why? Why are you nervous?
For that joke.
You said.
Talking in front of people is
Yes.
weird.
I don't like talking.
You don't like talking?
I don't like being
At all?
recorded. I don't like.
Everyone expresses love,
But it's okay. I don't like being recorded either.
Why do you feel like people, okay, when you say you don't like talking, is this just in front of like a camera in front of people, or is this like at all?
I don't like talking.
So is this like a social anxiety thing?
Ooh.
Do you have that?
Yeah.
You do?
Hers is good.
Fill me up. Very bad.
If you get nervous in front of
Nervous is enough.
that's a society, then just take it.
So who feels like they have social anxiety right here? Oh my God.
Not right here.
So everybody.
Only 3.
So you don't feel like you have social anxiety? No.
Do you?
I cheer. I had to get over that.
Oh.
How'd you get over? How'd you get
How
over?
did you get over it? Oh.
Cheer, you have to talk to a bunch of people because like we sell things in the stands. And so you have to like go up and talk to people and like you have to be in front of so many people all the time.
Are you an extrovert naturally?
No.
No, so you're an
Okay, what does that
I'm
mean?
an introvert.
Like extrovert means like
You're an extrovert.
you're a people person.
You are an extrovert. Am I an extrovert?
Yeah.
What's an introvert?
Here's how
When you
can
don't like
know.
talking.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like a measure of how much you do something, but it's whether or not you feel energized by doing that. So do you feel like you're fueled and you rest by being around people? Like, does that give you energy or does that drain your energy?
I feel like it just depends.
Yeah, true.
Cause
It
a lot
depends
of
on the
times-
people I'm around.
Yeah, like when I'm around like them, it's like whatever. But like if I'm like at school, I feel like I'm so drained, like because of all the people. And
I don't like people.
I don't. It depends on who I'm with, I guess,
Yeah. No, I get that.
or like how many people there are.
So I'm an introvert for sure. You said that like you knew, like can you tell?
You
Can you
said
tell?
You said it.
I said it, I did say it.
Just you said that. You can like say you, but like I already knew that about you.
Oh.
Like whenever I met you. Oh. They did this cute.
Keely told you. So Keely was just like, he's an introvert? That's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you were like, what do I need to know about this?
Yeah, he's
guy?
extrovert. Yeah.
She was like, he doesn't like people.
No. No, she's like he's just kind of quiet.
That is true. I am a little bit quiet. But I feel like, so I had a level of social anxiety. I actually talked about that on Sunday.
You did.
Yeah, I did have a little level of social anxiety. And I've learned to overcome it by
Facing your problem.
facing your problem.
How do people face their problem? Like it's like
You just have to like.
Yeah, and how does
how do you get over
have to,
something or like
someone?
yeah.
You have to like confront
I
it
do.
with no cares.
I've tried.
Well then
You
you
have to,
try
like,
it, accept, and then just get used to it.
No, you didn't. It doesn't.
I know that I need to get over something or that I need to like face something, but like how do you do that? Or handle it?
How like
I just got in the mindset that if I wanted to say something about a certain situation, I just say it.
no, because I feel like if
And
I
or like if I confront a problem,
it's gonna come out.
It can, but like if it's like a problem that like is bothering me, like I'm very quick to
Like I feel like
express
it would, like
that.
ruin a friendship or something if I do say that.
Well, it's not a good friendship then.
So
If there's a problem, but there's a way to do. There's a way to do that without being mean.
Oh, sorry guys. Thanks, Izzy. Thank you.
no, this is good. So when you say like you want to face your problems, but you don't know how, number one, I don't think facing your problems is a system. Like I don't think you can just plug and play a certain way you do it to every situation. But I guess my question would be what. Well, let's just get specific. Don't say names, but like give me a situation. Like what is the problem? You're facing?
Right here.
We do.
No.
Oh, you speak.
Talk about it. What is it?
Yeah, you
Since you're over it.
It's not me.
brought it up.
Me.
You brought
You
it
want me to bring it up?
You already did.
Oh gosh.
But it's not me. And I didn't come. Just go.
So you feel like you can't talk about your problems.
Yeah.
Why?
I feel
Like insecure.
Ooh, insecure, judged.
I feel like anytime I say something, I get judged or like express my feelings.
To who?
Anybody.
Anybody. So even at school, you feel like you can't talk about your problems? Here's a question that I have for y'all. What's the difference between talking about your problems with a friend and gossiping?
I feel like it's gossip when it turns like negative about a certain person.
Yeah.
Or like turns negative about like yourself.
If you're just explaining a situation, there is a fine line to where you could like just tell them exactly what's happening without talking bad about another person that's in the situation.
I feel like it's also the way that you explain the problem. Because like if you explain it in a way that's like
And very rude.
like someone
one-sided.
has a reaction like, oh my gosh, that's like, like someone else's reaction to the problem is negative, then I feel like you kind of explain the problem in a negative way.
Okay. So walk me through that again. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted.
Okay, so I don't like if you're just explaining something that happened, like an event that happened. I feel like a lot of the a lot of the drama comes from like how you say what happened.
Okay.
Like if you're already starting to explain it in a negative way, then the person that you're explaining it to is going to take it in that negative way and is then going to be like, okay, well I guess this is gossip, or oh, okay, I guess I can say this, like a negative thing. But if you're just simply explaining a problem, the other person is like, oh, that sucks, kind of thing. Not like, oh my gosh, that's terrible, and then it starts going into gossip.
So it's almost like the way that you explain that to other people is the new standard by which they're allowed to perceive it or explain it to other people.
Because I feel like for someone to start talking gossip, I feel like, at least like me, I'm not gonna like, I mean, obviously I have taught gossip and everything, that's something that I'm trying to work on, but I'm not gonna talk gossip with someone that I don't trust or feel like if it's their best friend, I'm not gonna be like, I don't like her, like that kind of thing. Like you have to be welcomed into being able to have your response.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, well, I think touching on that there's something important there, that the way that we talk about other people, and situations, but mostly like when we talk about other people, we're setting a standard by which the people we're expressing these things to and these problems to, we're setting a standard of how they're allowed to now view that person, right? And so as Christians, I think we should really try hard to set a high standard by which other people perceive others, even when that person is our problem, right? Because like people are problematic, right? Would you agree? Yeah. I mean, I feel like 99% of my problems are because of people, you know? And so it's so easy to say, well, they're my problem, so that means they are the problem. That's not true, right? They are not the problem. They are potentially a symptom of a larger story that's taking place in their life, and that story is now bleeding into your story, and those two things are clashing, right? And it's causing friction, it's causing problems, but they are not the problem. Does that make sense?
I feel like everyone obviously causes problems.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that people need to look at when if someone causes a problem that relates to you. You know, you should think about why everyone does cause problems. So they're not the only one. And there's probably a bigger story to it.
Yeah. And that's so important.
Yeah, like I feel like whenever we take things like whenever someone's having a bad day and everything, I feel like we take that as like that's who they are. Is that bad day is like who they are and everything. So, and of course if it's someone that you see on like an everyday basis and everything like that and they're with a lot, then you're gonna see if it's a pattern or if it was a bad day.
Yeah.
But if it's someone that you're not really like close with or have a lot of contact with, I feel like we define people by their bad days because I feel like a bad day sticks out more than a good day.
So
People remember the bad things instead of the good.
Ooh, we were talking about this today, weren't we, Nick?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. Yeah. As a guy, do you feel like that's true?
Yeah, I it's so hard to open up as a guy.
Really?
Yeah, just through anything that you go through.
Yeah.
I feel like socially, that kind of caused all that. I feel like guys are supposed to be big and tough.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So when you experience okay, I like this idea, this thought that you were on, where we talked about it's bigger than their story, but it's almost like you start looking for reasons to be angry and reasons to complain. Me and Nick were talking about this, and we called it fishing. It's like when somebody, and this is the idea of like this old saying, hurt people, right? So like when somebody is hurt by someone else, their mind tells their heart that their heart needs a reason to not like them anymore. It's a defense mechanism. You see what I'm saying? So their mind is like, heart, we got to protect you. So let's find reasons to not like this person. Let's find reasons to be upset with this person because it makes the hurt easier, right? It makes it easier for us to.
It makes it seem like innocent.
Yeah, exactly. Justified, right? Yeah. And so it starts fishing for reasons to not like this person. And it starts fishing for reasons to call that person the problem. And it's all their fault. And if they didn't do it this way, and they're a bad person, and you tend to find what you fish for, right? Like you do. If you're fishing for it, you're gonna find it. But that's so hard to overcome, you know? It's like how do you move from fishing for reasons to complain and trying to justify, not liking this person, to no, I'm going to speak highly of people. I'm going to set a standard of positivity towards others and love one another like Christ loved me, even when I'm offended. How do you do that?
Just thinking about the positive side. Maybe finding the good of the person, maybe talking to them.
Yeah.
Finding a reason to like them and to like accept them and know what's going on in their life.
Yeah, but like, how do you do that?
I feel like the people you surround yourself with are a big thing. Because if you're in a friend group of like strong Christians and everything, and you'll all have the same mindset, like the common mindset being we need to have better standards for people and we need to be positive, then it's like group think. Like if you have a group of people who all like feel bad and talk bad, or like they always have a problem, then you're also going to find yourself having more problems. But I feel like if you surround yourself with people who look for the positive things and don't really focus on those bad things, then it's going to be a lot better.
Got some DoorDash.
Yeah, I go along with what she says. My mom tells me you are who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And you become who you surround yourself with. So I agree with what she's saying, basically.
It is.
Well, you want to say not really. You want to say to yourself, "Nah, I'll stand out. I won't be like the rest." But then you eventually adapt to it, and then you just
Yeah, do you feel like it's you feel like you ever go into friendships and be like, I'm gonna be the good influence?
Yeah.
And then like 2 months down the road, you're like, dang bro, I got dragged down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's true.
I feel like at that point it's easier to be alone than to be surrounded by those type of people.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to find those friendships that are good.
Yeah.
It's easier to find the bad ones.
Why is that?
I don't know. Everyone's just always so negative. Like everyone has this mindset. They've been built up to have this one mindset.
And for some reason, I feel like everyone kind of swarms like the bad influences because it's like what's like popular, I guess, or like what everyone else is doing. They're very like they conform to what everyone else is doing. Yeah, like
They don't want to like do something different.
Yeah.
It's like it's attractive to your brain. Like, oh, drama is like what I thrive off of. Like, it's what I build friendships off of. I think that's another thing too. It's like you have a friend and it's like, oh, this is the person that I can talk crap about people with. And then you start building friendships with those people. And then halfway down the road, you're like, do I even know this person? Do we even have like the same interests?
It's very surface level.
Yeah.
Well, there's always these certain group of kids. Like, well, starting off when you're young and you're in elementary school, there's the popular kids. And those people, sometimes they're good, but then sometimes they set off bad influences and then everyone else follows it. And then as you grow up, it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, why do, like, so we yeah, I guess we gravitate towards these negative influences. And then, do you feel like we go into those trying to be the positive, or we know what we're getting into?
No, try to be the positive.
I feel like it's a little bit of both, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like some people, because like they don't want to stand out, they want to be the same.
Yeah.
So when they see the people doing one thing, they're like, okay, I will do it too, because everyone else is.
Being a follower.
Yeah.
What about y'all as men? Do y'all feel like, men, as guys, I mean, do y'all feel the same way, like you gravitate towards negative influences, or?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's worse for men and more for girls, because all the boys want to be all cool and stuff, this and that, doing the things that every guy does, but it just depends on how you think mentally and what you need. Tell yourself you want to do stuff.
So like, I think it goes for everybody. Like, we all tend to have this type of ego, or we need to be the best, and having these negative influences around us, we're trying to be better than that, but all that's around us is bad influence, so we're trying to be the worst influence, basically.
Yeah, it's like we're trying to outdo everyone else. Like,
And I never realized how negative people like around our age are until I stopped going to Woodland for classes. And I've just been doing, like, I haven't been there all semester. So, like, I've been, like, a generally happier person because I'm not hearing all the negative. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I never realized how big of an issue it was
Wow.
like
until I was out of it.
Yeah. And that's great. So it's almost like just the more you're exposed to something, the less aware you
Yeah, you're
become.
so used to it.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be, like, so frustrated with, like, things I was hearing or, like, things people were doing.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, you spend 5 days a week at school for 8 hours, and that's all you
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah.
Like spring break was such a like shock because
was
I
so
like,
nice.
It felt amazing, yeah. And then
It
Monday
felt
I was
like
just like
free.
exhausted.
It's like
felt-
school brain.
I have one class and it's not even at Woodland, and that's like, even that, I'm like, oh my god.
it just felt freeing to not have to hear any of the negativity for like a week straight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that. I don't really hear any negativity. It's just school is just lame.
Amen. I think what's interesting is, so I'm at Cass a lot, and we give out coffee, and my favorite question to ask kids is, what are you celebrating today? Because they immediately think of like, I gotta find something like, is it my birthday, or like, is it, something anniversary, I don't know. But I'm just asking, like, what is there worth celebrating in your life right now? Sometimes I get kids who have really good answers, like something simple, like, hey, I thought I was, one kid was like, I went downstairs and to eat breakfast, and I got I saw a box of what's the cinnamon toast crunch cereal, and he was like so excited that they had cinnamon toast crunch. And I was like, that's beautiful to be able to like look at something little like that and celebrate, right? But I would say 70, 80, maybe 90% of the kids had nothing to celebrate. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really like life, I don't really enjoy I just had to come to school, whatever. And then I would ask them, I'd say, what's up, bro? And then, but then I would ask them and I'd say, what do you have to complain about?
And they always can find something.
Instantly.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It's like almost instantly they have something to complain about.
And I feel like sometimes it does get better as you grow up. Like people go into, when you get older, you go to college. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You then get a job.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right job environment, it can be the same.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to go to college with an open mind. I need a change.
Yeah. Why? Why is it so easy to complain but hard to celebrate?
I feel like we don't
There's more
like
things
just.
to complain about.
But
Not
is there-
really.
I feel like people outthink.
I just
the
people
things
think
that-
people's mindsets are so negative all the
That's
time.
what people. I mean, I feel like I complain more than I,
Yeah.
because you can complain about anything, and you can also, what's the other word you said?
Celebrate.
Yeah, celebrate.
Yeah.
You can also celebrate about many things. It's just like, you literally celebrate about anything in the world. You just rather complain.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many new things to complain about every day, and not as many new things to celebrate.
See, I
Hey,
would
you
say
can always celebrate like waking up.
Exactly, but that happens every day.
I know,
It's the
but like
exact
if
same
you
thing
ask
that
her, like,
happens,
what are
it's
you
repeated.
celebrating?
Yeah, but I would say I think there's even more
Yeah.
new things to celebrate
That you don't realize.
that we don't realize because
We
we're
don't
too
say
busy
it's right.
doing this, right? How can you celebrate what's in front of you if you're too busy complaining about what other people have in front of them? You know what I'm saying? Because that's why we complain, right? Like that's why we complain, because that person over there has something to celebrate over that I don't.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna complain about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I feel like we always find the negative in anything, even if like there's something positive. I feel like people always have to find the negative and always have to complain about it, no matter what or who it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's my birthday, but I didn't get anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of like celebrating being born, you know?
That's the whole point.
You're alive, bro. Yeah, that's crazy. Man, I just think I find it just so interesting that it's so much easier. I mean, yeah, the Bible tells us that His mercy is new every single morning. Like there is something to rejoice over every single morning. And it goes further than just like being alive, and it goes further than just the things that you see every day. I mean, every breath you take, getting coffee and it's good. Like, let's celebrate, having good friends, like celebrating with friends. And here's where I think for us as a student ministry can really lean into this is by beginning to celebrate what other people are celebrating instead of being offended by what other people are celebrating. Because if we look at other people, if Nick, I don't know if it's true for y'all, but I find it a lot easier to mourn with people who mourn. There's a Bible where it says, mourn with those who mourn and rejoice with those who rejoice. I find it a lot easier to mourn with those who mourn. If Nick's sad, I'm like, dang, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm sad with you, right? But if Nick gets the thing that I wanted, I can't celebrate with him, right? It's hard for me to rejoice with him. He's rejoicing, and I'm like, damn, I wanted that, right? I wanted that part. I wanted that position. I didn't make the team. My friend did. I wanted that grade. They got the, but if we can shift our perspective to be able to like celebrate with other people, think about how much more we could celebrate and how much happier we would be. And I think that's like the joy that Christ invites his church into. And he's saying, I'm giving you people that you are allowed to celebrate with. And here's the beauty is when you're sad, they're going to be sad with you. But I want you to be happy when they're happy too. And there's so much freedom, I think, from that like complaining mindset in that. You know what I mean?
I don't think people realize when you celebrate with other people, it makes you happier.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it brings you more joy. Like, would you rather be happy or sad?
Exactly. Unfortunately, so many people would rather be jealous.
Yeah.
They really would.
I mean, that's a normal feeling for certain things, but you got to look past it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard though,
Yeah.
So, man, good talk. Just like talking through stuff. See how natural this is?
It's on the topic we were supposed to.
No, that's what I want these things to be. Like I want these things to be exactly what has just happened. But let's move. So we've identified a couple of problems like that I think everybody faces. Why do we as LifePoint students even exist? Because there's all these problems that students face. And I think that there's something special about being a group of people following Jesus that can help solve those problems. But I want to hear from like y'all's perspective. What's the whole point in LifePoint students?
It helps the kids in LifePoint students realize what they should be doing and like how to handle certain situations.
Okay.
And then the students in LifePoint students take it out of LifePoint students. And they spread that throughout their schools. So it can go out to more people.
Yeah.
Possibly it kind of gives them like a family to talk to.
Yeah,
Build a family.
Yeah. Like we're all here.
More make it more
If,
Yeah.
yeah, like we're all here if someone needs something or needs to talk for.
And
That's
I-
good.
I feel like we understand each other like better, like as far as the like community and everything.
Yeah.
Like if let's just say you had like a devotion that day and it like really made you happy, it would be easier to go to someone who's also a believer and be like, oh my gosh, guess what I learned? Instead of someone who is like not a believer at all. They're like, that's not even that big of a deal. But like to a Christian, it is a big deal. Like it means a lot whenever you have like a good devotion and you get something out of that.
Yeah.
And it helps other people get stuff out of what you learned too.
So what's the difference between what we do at LifePoint Students and like some club in school or like, I don't know, just like a friend group, a clique, you know, like a different family? Because there are plenty of like a basketball team, right? A soccer team, like they would be like, we're family, you know, we got each other's backs sometimes. Or maybe you don't. Okay, so maybe this is a good point. So maybe those things look like that on the outside, but really
I
there's
feel
like so
with
much division.
Sports, it's very much like a friend group while you're there.
Yeah.
And then outside, it's kind of like, oh, they're doing their own thing, I'm doing my own thing.
There's this very select few people that like you, from my perspective, that you can go to and like feel comfortable talking to that's on your sports team.
Like sports team can be so judgmental.
Right, and like so
based off your
judgmental,
ability, too.
so like jealous, like if you got a position and they didn't,
Like, if you're not good enough, then it's like, oh, I don't like you.
Yeah.
But if
Your
you're good, then
like your ability in that sport is who you are.
Oh, okay. Now this is good. This is good. How much more in life does that relate than I think we realize? Like your ability on a sports team is what makes you like worthy of attention or worthy of being a part of that group, right? Do you feel like that idea, ability, and your like ability to behave or whatever translates over to other areas in life and other groups? Yeah, totally, right? I feel like everything is like performance based.
Well, if you're not good, say you're not good at a certain sport and people don't think you're good, and they go out and they start telling people at school that you're trash at that sport, then other people have like that mindset of you.
And that brings them down to not like want to be better at this sport.
Yeah.
So your identity begins to
Be that sport.
be that sport and the fact that you're not good at it, right? So now I'm not good, and that's who you feel like you are.
They
Like some people-
label you by that.
Yeah.
or like
your
there's,
grades.
or like you're so good that like they're only like, oh, she's only good at like a sport, or like that's all they do, and like
Or like they see you in the hallway and they're like, she's trash.
Or it could even be with your family.
Yeah. Yeah, let's unpack that. So beyond sports, how does this take place? How do we see this concept in life, in other areas? This idea, this identity crisis.
If your family doesn't like,
Or if they have like, really high standards for you.
yeah, or they don't provide you with like support or
treat you differently
yeah.
Yeah.
than like your siblings or something.
Yeah. I mean, I think even when you guys go to college, you're gonna experience this. When you guys go to, you know, work
Don't
at
scare Allie.
work at a normal job, you're gonna experience this.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to a place where it feels like everything is riding on your ability to perform and behave. You're going to be either a good, employee or a bad employee. And everybody's going to call you by that, and that's your identity. You're either going to be somebody who, is like the black sheep in the family, or somebody who follows all the rules or whatever. That's going to find itself in your life as you get older. I feel like so much of our life is performance-based. Do you feel like that could be true of church?
Yeah.
That can be.
Yeah, totally.
Like saying, I feel like the church it shouldn't be, but I feel like some churches are so judgmental.
The judgy Christians.
Like,
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
the like people who look at your past and everything like, oh, she used to do this, she used to do that, instead of focusing on
Like who you are now.
who you are now and who you're trying to be. Seeing that you have good intentions for your life now and for the future. Like, I can't do anything about what I've done in the past. If I realize that those things are wrong and I'm trying to move on from those, why is my identity found in those problems?
Yeah.
I
So-
feel like people don't move on from the past. Like they always
like
bring
they
it
hold
up in
grudges.
situations.
Like I said, the bad is so much like more in people's minds than the good. They forget the good stuff and they're like, yeah, she's a good person, but she did this. But she acts like that.
So just like it's easier for us to complain about things in our life,
Yeah.
it's also easier for us to label somebody by the negative attributes that we've seen.
Yes.
Well, because everyone wants to label someone. Like they need something to identify that person as.
And it's even like not even just how you act or anything, it's like your problems. And it's like, oh, she's always depressed, or
Oh, yeah.
oh, she's like my sister, she's autistic and everything. And I feel like people with those kind of problems, they're so labeled. People are like, oh, she's autistic. Oh, she has Down syndrome. Oh, she has those problems, instead of like, she's really encouraging, she's really caring. Like, it doesn't, like, people don't care about that.
Yeah.
And I
this
don't
is
understand
starting
why.
at such a young age.
Yeah.
Like, because I have one of the classes for sisters in, like, for my internship. And those kids are so, like, not just of your sister, but, like, of other people. And I'm like, y'all are, like, 9.
No, yeah, it starts so
Like, they're so
early.
little. They're so judgmental already.
There's so much drama, like her friends and everything. Like, it's already starting, and she's only 10.
So
She's already insecure. She's already having confidence problems, and she's 10.
So we've identified there's this like identity issue in students, obviously, whether it's us complaining about our own life and only seeing the negative things in our own life and not feeling like we're enough. And then there's also an identity crisis in what seems like the people around us, like that we project onto other people. So one thing that I've recognized about myself is that I tend to be most judgmental in other people, or most critical in other people about what I'm most insecure about in myself.
Yeah.
Right? So if I'm insecure about it, I'm immediately more critical about it in other people. I don't know if that's true for you, but I know that's true for me. And so one way that I feel like we as students, and especially as students who follow Jesus, because we need to set the standard as, no, we're positive, right? We love people. We don't hate people. We don't judge people. We love them no matter what they've done, no matter what performance lapse they've had. And one of the ways that I think we can do that is by, tackling our own insecurities, right? What is it about my life that I'm insecure about that I need to take to Jesus? And then 2 is just recognizing and being aware of my insecurities and knowing that that's going to cause me to be more critical and more judgmental towards other people. And so being able to catch that as it comes.
And people are more willing to take the easy route and just project everything instead of realizing, like, oh, I have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's always their fault.
It's never your own.
Never. But it is, like, probably 100% of the time, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like your own fault, right? You could have communicated better in the beginning, right? Or you could have clarified, or you could have asked for forgiveness first, or you could have not said that thing a month ago that you said, right? Or even like you could have asked them for clarity on something that you heard, you know? And so 99% of the time, I would say it's your fault. And learning to overcome that and take that over is important. But how can we as LifePoint students help those who are experiencing this mindset of being just doused in negativity and having this identity issue of not feeling like they're enough, not feeling like they're worthy? How can we as a student group invite them into freedom?
Us being more like respectful and being welcoming to them,
Yeah, totally.
not judging them for their insecurities or whatever.
Like always being there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or making it known.
Yeah.
letting them know that you want to talk to them and you're there for them.
Like, I feel like a lot of people, like, they look at Christianity and they're like, well, you're just, forcing, like, not forcing, but like, you're just telling me what to do and then you don't even do it. Like, literally the other day in class, this girl was like, I don't like religion because half the time the stuff that you're telling me, you go and do. And it's like, oh gosh, like, I'm telling you not to gossip and then 5 minutes later I'm gossiping. How are you, like, you're just gonna take that with nothing? Like, you're just not gonna listen.
But I feel like people also look at Christians and think we're like perfect, but we're still human and we still make mistakes and do things we're not supposed to.
Yeah, totally.
So that can cause them to be very judgmental to us.
So there's something about Jesus that gives us the freedom, I think. And that's that he doesn't view us that way, right? He sees past our flaws. He forgives us of those things. And that's the fuel that we as LifePoint students are able to, I think, extend that same forgiveness and freedom to other people. Hey, God doesn't hold my sins against me because through Jesus, I am forgiven. I am saved. I am healed. I am redeemed. And there's something more than just the problems that I face. There's something more about who I am and my identity than my failures. And Jesus sees that. And because Jesus sees that, I want to invite you to experience that same freedom. You know what I mean? So like all of these things, like not judging other people, absolutely. Inviting, being welcoming to people, absolutely. Being there for people, absolutely. But if it doesn't come back to the thing that changed our hearts, right? It's not going to last, I don't think. Because there's only so much we can do. And so for LifePoint students, like, I think it's so important that we do all of those things because Jesus did them for us, right? Because Jesus didn't judge us. He didn't hold those things against us. He didn't see those failures as our identity. He said, no, I love you. I welcome you. I accept you because I love you. Like it's unconditional. It's not because you did anything or performed or behaved. It's just who I've decided to be towards you. And we need to practice that same selflessness towards others, right? But it's fueled by Jesus and what he did for us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's good. I know you guys have to go, so we will end this recording. Is that good? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3.